Welcome to level 11 out of 31 levels of the 613 degrees or rungs on Jacob's ladder. It is a good practice to be proud of oneself, but not arrogant. Arrogance leads to narcissism, and narcissism leads to bragging and degrading, which leads to making other people jealous. Causing jealousy in others is a horrible sin to be part of. To circumcise one's heart is to remove arrogance and extreme pride, making a person humble and full of humility. During the circumcision process, one is still considered to be a wild ass or donkey. They are considered to have a stiff neck and are unable to turn their head from side to side. They only perceive and desire the pursuit of pleasure hedonistically, and this type of pursuit of pleasure causes wildness, because they will do anything to receive the fleeting pleasure. It is good practice to perform circumcision by releasing the ass's burden, lift the ass, and bring back the ass. An ass or donkey is a metaphor for wildness. It is good to release the burden of wildness caused by pride and an uncircumcised heart. The next step is to lift wildness up from the ground and to gradually become tame or in control of one's life. If a person, after becoming tame, returns back to wildness, it is important to bring this person back to tameness. After a person circumcises their heart, removing pride and making wildness into tameness, a person is ready to love the neighbor and the stranger. A neighbor is a metaphor for a positive person, and a stranger is a metaphor for a negative person. If one achieves the state of being a neighbor, it is good to remember the state of being a stranger, because we were all strangers at one time in our lives. So it's important to love positive people and negative people, because we are one collective family called humanity. It is good to rebuke the neighbor and stranger. If you see a neighbor becoming a stranger, it is customary to attack them with love and help them maintain a positive connection. It is also customary to attack strangers with love, to introduce a positive mindset to a person who has a negative mindset to help that person. It is important to have just weights. This means to be able to weigh out judgment and mercy. To have a scale used to determine how much judgment is necessary or how much mercy is necessary is appropriate as well. It is important to calibrate that scale to make sure one is not being too judgmental or being too merciful. It is important to honor and value knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. These three achievements are very important for the good of humanity and the good of ourselves. It is also important to fear knowledge, understanding, and wisdom also. A person who is knowledgeable, understanding, and wise has a lot of responsibility. They know right from wrong and have the power to either choose to be right or choose to be wrong. A person should fear abusing knowledge and understanding and wisdom in order to avoid misleading others and give false advice. Once a person knows right from wrong, they have to be completely responsible and choose to do the right thing and avoid temptation to do wrongful acts. The concept of causality is that everything happens for a reason. So if everything happens for a reason, where does our choice or free will come into play? I would say the biggest choice we have is to choose our environment. It is important to choose a positive environment, to stick with a positive environment, improve the positive environment, and maintain the improvements made. We have nature and nurture that affects us, genes that we inherit in our environment, the way we were raised and continue to develop affects us. So this is why the environment is so important, because we can't change our genes, but we can choose our environment and choose a positive one that inspires us and motivates us to be better and improve ourselves.